Tonight, gun violence ends in the death of another man on the streets of the capital. We are on the scene. Also, it's budget day tomorrow. More tonight ahead of the tabling of the country's new financial blueprint. And later, we've got the latest in the Oban saga. The office of the Prime Minister is on the record. This is Eyewitness News.
Eyewitness News brought to you by Flow Evo, powered by BTC. Flow Evo is here.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Candino Knowles. Thanks for joining us. Off the top tonight, a 15-year-old teen was charged in court today in connection with the 3 recent sexual assaults on minor girls. Police launched a 3-week hunt for the suspect before he was finally taken into custody late last week. Our Francesca Brown was at court today. Francesca, we understand that persons were shouting jeers at the accused.
That's right, Candino. It wasn't quite an angry mob outside court this morning, but several persons gathered to sneak a peek at the young man accused of committing these heinous crimes. But because of his age, police covered his face to protect his identity. The teen seen here in the red jacket and blue pants was hurried into court by police officers after several angry persons screamed at the 15-year-old from the sidelines. He was charged with 3 counts of unlawful sexual intercourse. Prosecutors allege that on April 28th, May 14th, and May 25th, the teen had unlawful sexual intercourse with 3 minors, ages 6, 10, and 11. The first incident happened on Bahama Avenue off of Blue Hill Road. The second incident on Darling Street off of Wolf Road near the Stephen Dillett Primary School, and prompted residents in that area to clear down the property surrounding the abandoned building where the girl was allegedly assaulted. The final incident occurred last Thursday as the young girl was walking through a park in Big Pond with her brother. Now, members of the media were not allowed inside the courtroom as the teen was charged as a minor. The press is only granted access if the minor is charged as an adult in another courtroom or is charged with adults in connection with another crime. Eyewitness News understands, however, that the teen was accompanied by his grandmother and brother and represented by attorney Nathan Smith. The teen was not required to enter a plea to the charges and was remanded to the Simpson Penn School for Boys until August 10th. At that time, the case is expected to be fast-tracked to the Supreme Court for trial. Back to you, Candino.
All right, thanks a lot, our Francesca Brown reporting for us tonight. Thanks a lot, Francesca. Well, happening late this afternoon, a man was fatally shot in the head on Montgomery Avenue off Carmichael Road. Police telling Eyewitness News that it was around 3 p.m. when officers got a call about the victim, who was reportedly in a silver Honda Accord, lifeless since early this morning. Family members standing nearby confirmed that the man lived in the area and was 34 years old. Police are calling on anyone with information to call 911 or 919. Meantime, the Minister of National Security, Marvin Dames, confirming this morning that his ministry has allocated funds within the upcoming budget to equip the police force with body cameras. His revelation comes less than 24 hours before government's 2018-2019 budget presentation and 2 days after police shot and killed a 20-year-old man in Mason's Addition. Theo Seeley tells us tonight that the incident, which has sparked public outcry, particularly as some questions whether police used bad judgment.
When news broke that police allegedly shot a man 18 times on Sunday, family members of the victim cried injustice, and questions surfaced yet again as to when the government would introduce a second pair of eyes, body cameras, to ensure that police are held accountable while on duty. National Security Minister Marvin Dames told Eyewitness News Tuesday that the technological gadgets will be introduced before June next year.
We have budgeted for body cam in the upcoming fiscal period, and it is expected that it will be introduced at that time.
The police recently ran a pilot program to test body cameras in the field, but no affirmative moves were made to implement the gadgets. Now, in the wake of Sunday's incident, where police gunned down a civilian, the 8th police-involved shooting for the year, family members of the victim want answers and justice.
The officer or officers involved in that will have their day of accounting. And if they did something outside of their scope of responsibility, then they will have to account before the coroner's court.
Dames affirmed justice will be served.
If they acted in good faith, right, in the execution of their duty, then they will be vindicated. Every time an officer pulls a trigger, he or she has to account for their actions. And there will be no cover-ups, all right? But we have to allow the process to run its course.
Once body cameras have been introduced, it is expected that they will assist with expediting cases before the coroner's court, as they will provide hard evidence from the field. Theo Seeley, Eyewitness News.
Well, Chairman of the Police Staff Association, Sonny Miller, is defending the actions of officers who shot and killed that young man in Mason's Addition this past Sunday. Miller said officers put their lives on the line daily, and if they feel threatened, they must act.
We allow the applicants, we allow the investigations to take its course. And we strongly believe that as long as the independent investigators do their job, it'll show that our officers was just in their shootings. It's simple. Anyone points a gun basically at any one of our members, we expect for them to do. They must protect themselves and protect other people's lives. So with that being said, we want to encourage members of the public. Listen, allow us to do our work. You give us a job to do, allow us to do it. Not when something happened to one of your family members who want to take it and say, well, anyway, the police aren't doing their work. Our members are there every single day. If you ask right now, the police force is short according to the manpower audit. No one wants to do it because police officers, along with defense force officers, makes the ultimate sacrifice.
All right, well, we are just hours away from the 2018-2019 budget debate in Parliament, which will lay the financial blueprint for the upcoming fiscal year. Government had made a number of commitments, including the elimination of value-added tax on certain food items and an aggressive housing program, along with increasing pension payouts. Our Janelle Noel Ferguson discussed the state of the economy with former Minister of State for Finance and former Central Bank Governor James Smith and the measures he says government should take to shore up the economy.
Faced with several downgrades and an EU blacklisting, former State Minister for Finance James Smith, who also served as governor of the central bank, says the Bahamas is making a turnaround economically.
In defining where we are, we're coming out of some very, very challenging economic times. And going forward, I think there are some positive signs in terms of seem to be an uptick in tourism. But 2 months, arrivals is not the basis for a 5-year projection. We've also seen the completion of the major project like Bahama, and I think they're approaching the 5,000 new jobs. So that's really positive. But on the other hand, we've seen a spike in oil prices as recently as a week ago. And so I think we're not out of the woods yet, but we might have bottomed out.
Smith says the government must not use the opportunity to act hastily with implementing new taxes.
I think they've chosen, perhaps quite rightly, to address the deficit by expenditure cuts rather than increasing taxation. And from my point of view, there's no good time to increase taxes, but a better time is when the economy is doing better, when more people are employed, who with more employment, they can contribute more to pay more taxes. So you don't really, when you're just turning the corner and things are bottoming out, it's not a really good time to begin taxing then.
Now, Smith says in order for government to see any true turnaround in the nation's economy, it must first address the high unemployment rate among the nation's youth.
I think we need to do some very acute analysis to find out who are the unemployed, what's their skill set, what jobs are available, how do we match them. It may not be able to do it immediately in 1 year, so it might call for training. We might have to expand training in terms of vocational or at the university, whatever it takes, and or even on the job. But we need to know who they are, how many, skill sets, age, and on the other side, what jobs are available or what jobs are coming on stream, and try to match the two. And so you need really informed policy, labor policy to do that sort of thing.
Now, during last year's budget, Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis said the government was entering a new era of public sector accountability with reinvigorating growth and jobs. Janelle Noel Ferguson, Eyewitness News.
Well, days after the Inter-American Development Bank recommended the government double national insurance contributions, Minister with responsibility for NIB, Brenzel Roll, telling reporters today that the Minister administration is not considering a tax increase at this time.
We will always ensure the funds are never bankrupt. What we will take into account is what is absolutely necessary for us to do to make sure that the fund is viable and is responsive to the needs of our citizens. It's our social security network, and we are seriously looking at what we need to do to make sure it is functional and is working.
Well, the government has finally acquired the old Fields Food Services building on Gladstone Road, which will now be transformed into the General Post Office. Minister of Transport and Local Government Frankie Campbell confirming that the relocation will be completed by year's end. Public debate erupted when government initially announced its intent to relocate the General Post Office to southwestern New Providence, but Campbell says that the General Post will now operate through a satellite location.
The next step is to actually physically take the building, and that should happen in short order. All the relevant ministries and agencies are now coming together to coordinate that. And I'm satisfied that shortly thereafter, work will begin. So for those persons who were of the view that there would be no representation of postal services in the downtown area, we will have a satellite station, and so the downtown businesses and the persons who live nearby will still have that ability to access. But the General Post Office, where the mail is sorted, will be on Gladstone Road shortly.
We are just getting started in Eyewitness News, but it's payday for police officers, and we've got the latest from their chairman. Also, a unified busing program once again in the pipeline. We've got the latest on that. But first, here's a check on tonight's weather forecast.
Together, we laugh more, we discover more, we dream more. Together, we connect more, we cheer more. Grab life by the bundle and fuel your passion for your favorite things. Enhance your entertainment experience with Flow Evo, internet and home phone in one simple package. The hotter the bundle, the more you get. Grab life by the bundle with BTC.
I could show you all the high-tech equipment here at DigiPrint, but I won't.
I can introduce you to some of our talented, creative DigiPrint employees, but I won't. Instead, we'll focus on some of the work we've done for our many customers, whom we've been delighted to serve.
Our team at DigiPrint & Signs will create, design, and print anything to almost any surface. Fast production, fast installation, fast delivery. We print it all. Visit us on Mackey Street or email your files to sales@dpsbahamas.com.
Are you coughing, sneezing, having headaches, respiratory issues, allergies, or itchy skin? Toxic mold may be the problem. Clear Solutions Plus can help. Certified best in the Bahamas, specializing in mold removal, water damage restoration, AC duct cleaning, and more. Call Clear Solutions Plus to schedule an inspection for your home or office at 677-3138 or 427-3138. Open 7 days at the Mount Royal Plaza. Facebook at Clear Solutions Plus Certified Mold Removal, or visit our website. We are your solution to indoor air pollution.
You are looking at live pictures over Lake Cunningham, where the temperature is right around 80 degrees with an expected low tonight of about 77. This is Eyewitness News. Welcome back. The Trade Union Congress confirming today that it will meet with the Prime Minister tomorrow following months of failed negotiations with the Morton Salt Company to get higher wages and better benefits for Morton Salt employees. Morton Salt Union President is Jennifer Brown.
Since our ruling, the company's attitude has changed. They don't recognize the union only when it's convenient for them. You know, employees are being picked on, targeted, and discriminated against.
Well, the company has been trying to negotiate plans for higher wages after reviewing only a 0.3% increase of final wage packages in the last 3 years.
Before we resort to those, which is always available, we wanted to we approach things. But when you offer a Bahamian worker 4%, in 2018, 0.5%, in 2019, and in 2020, 1.6%, that's clearly indentured slavery.
Well, Press Secretary Anthony Newbold discussed the Cabinet Subcommittee's duty to monitor and report on the controversial OBAN deal. At his weekly press, Newbold stated that while there has been much public pushback on OBAN, the Cabinet Subcommittee works to ensure that the Bahamian people's worst fears
is to monitor. Yeah, they monitor and report to make sure that they're both on the same page and both of them have the same expectations so that when they report to the Bahamian people, they know what they're talking about.
Well, some good news for police officers tonight. Chairman of the Police Staff Association, Sonny Miller, confirming to Eyewitness News that police officers received that final payment for overtime they would have worked for back in 2012. Was forced to take the matter to court to receive payment from government, and under the former administration, overtime have since been worked out.
In 1 year, 4 installments, despite the cries of the economy being bad, that is illegal. So, as far as working or anything of that sort, those have been ironed out, and it will come almost as a voluntary basis.
Well, the Transportation Ministry will soon launch its pilot program for a unified busing system in New Providence. Transportation Minister Frankie Campbell revealing this morning that his ministry is in the process of acquiring new buses to execute that. An idea introduced under the former Progressive Liberal Party seeks to collect a unified busing system. Once launched, the pilot program will run for a period of 6 months. In the end, government will review its success and work toward implementing the unified system thereafter.
The question of a unified busing system has been around for a very long time. It's not a new subject. It's not a contentious one. The fact of the matter is the Bahamian public, particularly those of us in New Providence, deserve a system that is reliable, deserve a system that gives certain assurances. And so, like any other government, our job is to do the best we can for the most we can, and the most persons are not the bus drivers or the bus owners. The majority are the persons who use the system.
All right, that does it in this segment. But coming up in sports, Randy Smith is off the top with the latest. Randy?
Local baseball action continues to heat up at Freedom Farm. We've got highlights coming up in Eyewitness News Sports.
Beat the heat with Cash and Go to win amazing prizes from May 7th to August 3rd. Make a transaction valued at $50 or more at any Cash and Go location throughout the Bahamas to enter. And it's so easy. If you conduct any one-up or combined Cash and Go services, a BAF financial premium payment, a MoneyGram transfer, a RIA money transfer, a utility payment for either BPL, BTC, Cable Bahamas, Water and Sewage, Grand Bahama Power and Grand Bahama Utility, or a ticket purchase for Sky Bahamas, Western Air, or Bahamas Air. So go ahead and spend $50 or more for an entry form to win big this summer with Cash and Go. The grand prize for the month of May is 2-day passes at Atlantis Resort, or you can win an air conditioning unit in June, and for July, it's $10,000 cash. Visit cashandgobahamas.com or like the Cash and Go Facebook page for more details.
Can you break the bank? If you thought Crack the Code was crazy, Ultra Games is just up the ante with Break the Bank. And if you guess the correct combination for the bank and break it, you can win up to $500,000. That's right, up to $500,000 can be yours. The game is simple. Earn 25 reward points in a day or play $25 on a ticket and earn a promo point or voucher code and take your shot at breaking the bank by entering a 7-digit number at level 1 using the digits 0 through 9. And if you break it, you can walk away with $500,000 in cold hard cash. If no one breaks the bank in 3 days, the first digit of the bank's combination is revealed and the bank's vaults drop to $100,000 at level 2. And in another 3 days, if no one breaks the bank's combination, another digit is revealed and it drops to $25,000 at level 3, and so on. For game rules and restrictions and how to play, log on to ultragames.com. Can you break the bank? $500,000 can be yours. Promotion ends May 30th. Ultra Games reminds you that it's only a game, so game responsibly.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Randy Smith, and welcome to Eyewitness News Sports. First up tonight, the Freedom Farm Junior Baseball League continued its playoffs yesterday. In the Coach Pitch Division, the Sea Grapes defeated the Tamarins 29-19. The Cocoa Plums topped the Jujus 20-7, and the Periwinkles cruised by the Tiger Lilies 19-6. In the 9-10 division, the Red Ants got by the Termites 12-3. The Scorpions beat the Boas 18-9, and the Blue Marlins beat the Groupers 4-3. Action continues tonight at Freedom Farm. And after being rained out this weekend, the New Providence Softball Association will continue with its regular season tonight at Bankers Field. In women's action, the Sunshine Auto Wildcats take on the Platinum Pool Sharks, while in the men's division, the Commando Security Truckers take on Chance's Mighty Mitts. And in local tennis action, athletes began competition in America's Zone Group 3 in Costa Rica yesterday. In the opener, Marvin Roll and Jody Turnquest lost 6-2 to Jamie Bednack and Alejandro Obando from Honduras in doubles play. And today in singles action, Baker Newman knocked off Jody Majinle in 2 sets. In local basketball news, Dwight Colby had a workout with the Utah Jazz over the weekend, and Travis Munnings elected to withdraw from the draft and return to Louisiana Monroe for the upcoming season. Internationally, Duran Burroughs led FOS Province basketball to its first playoff series win over Nancy basketball. Burroughs averaged 8.5 points and 3 rebounds. He currently plays in the LMB Pro League in France. And in NBA news, the Cleveland Cavaliers will take on the Golden State Warriors for a record-setting 4th time in a row in the league finals. The Warriors knocked off the Houston Rockets 102-91 last night in Game 7 of the Western Conference Final to book its ticket to the finals. The championship round begins on Thursday. Well, that does it for us in sports, but stay tuned. Eyewitness News continues after the break. I'm Randy Smith. Enjoy your evening.
You're watching Eyewitness News.
All right, well, coming up and beyond the headlines with Clint Watson, former State Minister for Finance James Smith is weighing in on the state of the economy just hours before the next fiscal budget is presented. We've got a clip from tonight's show. Take a look.
Going forward, and based on our recent history, one of the most challenging threats, I think, for the Bahamas is, in fact, the hurricane season. And this has been pointed out by the IMF, I think, to the government in this month or last month when they came to visit and do a review of the economy. And what they said, in effect, is maybe the time has come for the government to begin setting aside during the good years some funds for hurricane repair. And because it's been really disruptive.
All right, well, Clint Watson and his panel have a candid discussion tonight about the budget and what it should look like. That's coming up, as I said, and beyond the headlines, it starts right after this. That does it for us in Eyewitness News. It's certainly been a pleasure having you in our company tonight. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Candino Knowles saying good night.
Watch TV anytime
anytime and anywhere only with Flow to Go. Here's how. Step 1, download Flow to Go from the App Store. Step 2, click Login or Sign Up. Step 3, enter the required information and click Sign Up. Step 4, enter the 4-digit verification code from your email. Step 5, select your region. Step 6, enter your 6-digit BTC number, then click Link. Step 7, enter the 4-digit code sent via SMS from BTC Merits, then click Submit. Flow to Go, available in the App Store and on Google Play.
Can you break the bank? If you thought Crack the Code was crazy, Ultra Games is just up the ante with Break the Bank. And if you guess the correct combination for the bank and break it, you can win up to $500,000. That's right, up to $500,000 can be yours. The game is simple. Earn 25 reward points in a day or play $25 on a ticket and earn a promo point or voucher code and take your shot at breaking the bank by entering a 7-digit number at level 1 using the digits 0 through 9. And if you break it, you can walk away with $500,000 in cold hard cash. If no one breaks the bank in 3 days, the first digit of the bank's combination is revealed, and the bank's vaults drop to $100,000 at level 2. And in another 3 days, if no one breaks the bank's combination, another digit is revealed, and it drops to $25,000 at level 3, and so on. For game rules and restrictions and how to play, log on to ultragames.com. Can you break the bank? $500,000 can be yours. Promotion ends May 30th. Ultra Games reminds you that it's only a game, so game responsibly.